Hello, children, how are you? Fine? Well, I'm also fine, thank you. Tell me, children, have you ever listened to Panchatantra stories? Yes, very good. Tell me, children, have you listened to Tenali Raman stories? Yes, very interesting, right? Tell me, children, have you ever listened to Mahabharata stories? Of course, why not? Now, tell me, children, have you listened to Greek myth stories? No. Okay. Don't worry, children. Today, I have an interesting story for you, so please keep your fingers crossed. But before this, let's learn some new words. Mount, round mass projecting above the surface. Stranger, an unknown person. Supper, main meal eaten in the evening. Feast, a large festival meal. Hospitality, friendly reception of guests. Astonished, greatly surprised. Whisper, speak softly using only breath. Angel, spiritual messenger of God. Kindness, the quality of being friendly. Let's read the text. The Wound Bowl. The old couple, Philemon and Baucis, lived in a hut on a mount. They worked hard in their farm and were only able to get as much food as they needed. Yet they were so kind that they would never let any stranger who came to their doors go without food. They welcomed the guest with joy and shared their own meal with him. One evening they finished their supper and sat at the door. Suddenly they heard the barking of dogs and shouting of boys in the village. Soon the noise grew louder. Philemon saw two strangers at whom the village boys hooted and the dogs barked. Philemon said to his wife, "Look at these boys. They ill treat the poor strangers. I shall go and bring them. You go and see if there is any food to give them." Philemon went down to meet the ragged newcomers. He drove back the dogs and said, "Welcome, strangers." He took them into his poor cottage and made them sit at the table. They looked very tired. Baucis placed a small bowl of milk on the table and said, "This is all that I have for you, sirs. How I wish you had come a little earlier. We could have shared our supper with you." "Don't worry, good lady," said one of the guests. "All will be well. Your kindness makes this drink a feast to us. We are pleased with your hospitality." Baucis poured the milk from the bowl into 2 cups and placed them before the guests. They drank the milk and later one of them asked for some more. Baucis, in a confusion, said, "Sorry, my dear guests, there is hardly a drop left in the bowl." "Why," cried the guest, taking the bowl, "there is milk in this bowl as much as we want." So saying, he filled not only his cup but also his friend's. Baucis was astonished as the guests filled their cups again from the bowl. She could hardly believe her eyes. "They are not ordinary men," whispered Baucis to her husband. "Yes," he replied, "they must be angels from heaven, come to bless us." "Good mother," said the guests, "we thank you for your kindness. May your bowl be full of milk always." Then they went to bed. Philemon and Baucis could hardly sleep because of the wonder that the strangers had worked with the bowl. The guests arose early next morning and got ready to go. Philemon and Baucis walked out with them for a short distance. "Good Philemon and Baucis," said one of the guests, "we are God's messengers. We are much pleased with your kindness. Ask for anything you like, you shall have it." The old couple looked at each other. After a moment, Philemon said, "Good angels, we wish to die together." "Be it so," replied the angels. "There is your home. Live in it as long as you desire, and come to heaven together." Old Philemon and Baucis were astonished to see their poor cottage turn to a great mansion. When they turned round to thank angels, they saw nobody there. They humbly prayed to God and lived in their mansion, doing good to everyone. How is the story, my dear children? Did you enjoy it? Thank you.
One day the donkey was traveling through the desert, but it was so hot and he was so thirsty that he started feeling dizzy, and soon he fell down. He cried for help, "Help! Help!" A man passing by saw the donkey and he rushed towards him. He gave his own water to the donkey to drink. The donkey drank the water and felt alive. He stood up and thanked the man for giving him water. Another day, the man was drowning in a pond. But soon the donkey passing by saw him and plunged into the water. The man was saved by the donkey. The man thanked the donkey. So the moral of the story here: if you help others, you will always get help in need.